Right, everyone, this is Marco Palmero, founder of Ulysses in Dubai. And in this video, I'm going to discuss with you a way to grow your business exponentially if you are a business executive, an entrepreneur, or even a private investor with a portfolio of companies. The reason why I want to record this video is because I see a lot of companies plateau after they reach, let's say, $500 to $1 million a year in EBITDA. And many times people don't realize what the problem might be. And to some respect, there are a lot of people online talking about how they can increase your marketing, your sales, how you can develop new product lines and, diversify your business to, scale even further. But my perspective is a bit different. And if you watched some of the videos on the channel, you already know what I stand for. But I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that in this video. Now, the problem with a lot of companies when they reach a certain level is that internal growth alone is not helping them scale anymore. And in some cases, it's not helping them scale at the pace they want to scale. In other cases, it simply plateaus. And it is a process that a lot of businesses go through. And unless they learn how to adapt and how to develop new growth channels, they're going to be stuck forever. And one of the reasons why a lot of companies, small businesses stay as they are for 20, 30, 40 years is because of those reasons. There are, of course, many other factors. Some of them might be the capabilities of the entrepreneur, the lack of development of the company, and the attack to new markets. But other than all these reasons, which are mainly internal, there's also an external reason which prevents this company to kind of leapfrog through steps and ultimately achieve the growth objectives that it had in the first place. Of course, I'm talking about acquisitions as a channel for growth. And I think what most people don't realize is that growth doesn't necessarily have to come from the internal procedures of the business. Growth can come from other companies that you acquire and integrate into your own existing operation. The beauty of all this is that you're fundamentally leveraging the know-how, the revenue, and the clientele of somebody else to build your own company. And you don't only add two businesses together that then keep operating separately, but you're also developing additional value by integrating the two. And this is the equation that I call 1 + 1 = 3. So there's added value that you can unlock as you start acquiring businesses. And so most might wonder, okay, how is it that I can grow my business faster? I've been plateauing for some time and I'm wondering if it is a marketing, a sales, or a product problem. In most cases, it might just be, there are other players in the market and I can just start buying them to acquire market share and I can grow that way. And it's going to be a lot faster, less painful. And in some cases, I don't even have to develop a lot of the skills that I should build, that I should build to build the business on my own, because I can just buy them. Okay, so I might say, okay, I'm not as experienced as an entrepreneur to scale a company from 10 million to 100, but I can buy a series of companies and then find in one of them key executives that know how to grow that business and put them in control so that they can take the company to that level. And that's what acquisition really unlocks for a lot of people. It's not only additional revenue, additional profits, customers, and know-how, but it's also the expertise of the people that you buy in these entities. And the whole thing gets to improve your own business and take it to a completely new level. So my point is, if you think that your company is not growing as fast as it should, and you want to achieve a certain milestone or goal in the next 12 months, look at acquisition as a way to tap into that potential. Because if you're a $10 million company, generating 10 more million and becoming a $20 million company in 12 months, it's going to be quite challenging, right? Unless you're trending in a very positive direction. But with one single acquisition, you can accomplish that goal in 6 to 8 months if you do everything correctly, right? And if you buy the right deal. So I think many times people underestimate the power of acquisition simply because they focus on what they know best, which is internal operations. But the truth is, you don't need to change anything of what you do daily to add acquisitions to your business, because acquisitions are not a yes or no kind of solution. They're just an add-on to your current growth strategy. So they're an additional vertical that you develop, and then you say, okay, from now on, I'm also going to focus on growing through acquisitions. And then you can delegate that to other people that are going to take care of that and just present to you the deals that are more suitable, so that you can pull the trigger on one of them and start integrating it into your business. We work with a lot of companies primarily on the DealFlow side. That's one of the supports that we provide. And that is part of the stuff that you can outsource, other than the due diligence to financial and legal advisors and many other things, right? But the point is, think of it as an additional channel for growing your business that doesn't change anything of what you do daily. As a matter of fact, it adds to it and can make it better. So let's just assume for a second that you believe this is something that could potentially work for you. What are the steps that you need to consider when looking at buying companies? Well, the first one is, of course, DealFlow, because when you go ahead and look at acquiring companies, you're going to have opportunities that you're evaluating. Not all deals that you look at are going to be a yes. It's almost like when you talk with customers, right? Not all of them are going to close. Same goes for deals. As a matter of fact, a tiny portion of deals that you look at is going to be a go. So you're going to look at a lot of them. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, and they kind of like set acquisitions aside because they see it as a painful and time-consuming process, and also quite expensive, to be frank. And all these things are true. I'm not going to lie to you. DealFlow is probably one of the hardest things of the acquisition process, but that's why companies like us take care of the DealFlow process on behalf of other businesses, because we basically take care of all that for them, so they don't need to worry about anything. They just collect the opportunities and take the process from there. But why is it that is so complicated? Well, because you need to do tons of output. You got to have a team in place to do all these stuff. You got to talk with a lot of people, visit facilities, collect information, select deals, interview people, and then create data rooms where you start the analysis of these deals. And that takes months, really. Generally speaking, what we do with companies is we work on minimum 3 months, because that's the time frame that is necessary to get tangible results. I can give you an example. For hospital groups that we worked for, we were able to source 20 suitable deals that were matching all their criteria in a matter of 3 months, which was huge. I mean, starting from zero, right? Building up the entire pipeline and sourcing deals. It was very, very strong result. And then, of course, subsequent ones brought in more deals, because once the system is established, it can generate opportunities on a predictable basis. But the point is, the first step is DealFlow. Find a series of opportunities in your industry, in your geography, in your market, and then start the evaluation process. Now, when you have a series of opportunities, you need to filter them down, which I just mentioned. You need to have a certain criteria that you target for those businesses that you want to buy. That might be, revenue, profitability level, number of employees, geographic focus, owner operator or not, growth trajectory, all this sorts of stuff. Once you have all these criteria, you kind of like benchmark to say which deal is a yes, which one is a no, which one is a maybe. After you have done that, you can start comparing all deals that come across your desk, and you select only the ones that are suitable. At that point, we go through the phase that I call soft due diligence, where you collect initial information just to see whether or not the deal is actually viable. It's not in-depth due diligence. It's just a soft process of initial analysis. And after that, you start to discuss viability of the deal. You might want to talk with financial institutions to discuss debt and other financing options. Might start negotiating with the seller softly. And from that point on, the process is really straightforward, because if you work with external advisors, there are going to be accounting firms, legal teams involved, going to take care of that due diligence process for you. Other people that might advise on the deal. So from that point on, you need to oversee the work that they're doing, but they're going to take the lead on that and guide you through all the steps. What you need to do from that moment on is pick the deals that are actually the ones. So you might have, I don't know, 5 opportunities that match all your selection criteria. You got to tell clearly, I want to focus on these 2 and try to close 1, and give direction in that sense. From that moment on, all the other teams that you have hired for the purpose are going to take care of it. And then once you start closing the deal, you're going to need to think about integration. Of course, you might want to think about it early and before the deal is close to getting done. But you might develop an internal team to integrate, or you might hire somebody externally to integrate that company into your own. Some people decide to keep it separate for some time to avoid problems of integration. Although my experience has been that starting the integration as soon as possible is actually important, unless you're planning to keep both businesses separate forever. 2 completely different brands and all the sorts of stuff. If that is the case, fine. But if you want to really integrate them and make them into a larger single business, then integration needs to start right away, based on my experience and the experience of my partners that have 150 years of experience combined doing this stuff. So that is the deal process. Very boiled down to the essence. And I think a lot of the steps are straightforward once you have selected the deals, which is good for you, because again, you have external teams that you can hire. The heavy lifting is really in the sourcing of the opportunities, which is a place where a lot of people don't work, because again, it's time consuming and people don't want to do the heavy lifting. Even advisors might not want to do that, and that's why we position ourselves as the ones who can provide that support, because we are so capable of doing that heavy lifting that we can deliver tremendous results to companies and then have them take on the deals, work with their advisors, and close them on their own accord. But I think for companies that are looking to grow, external growth is really key, because it unlocks exponential results, not linear results, as I said at the beginning of this video. Acquisitions are really the way to go about this. If you think about it from a very objective standpoint, you're at 10 million, let's just say. You buy a 10 million that is similar to yours, and you double in size. Your next acquisition can be 15. So with 2 acquisitions, you almost quadruple your size. And so that can happen in a matter of really 18 months. So it's not too shabby, right? Without even considering all the value that you will generate by integrating these businesses, which can grow the companies way more. So my point is, for the few of you who are going to watch this video, realizing that acquisitions are the way to unlock growth is really key, because in all markets there's so little competition, and you can really tap into these opportunities and make a killing, because you can find gems that nobody's looking at because it's too busy focusing on internal operations, and you can scoop them up and grow your company immediately. So hopefully this process kind of helped you understand a bit more about how companies can grow faster after a certain level, and how acquisition can support them in achieving that goal. If you're interested in DealFlow services or any other deal service, check the links below. We only take on a few engagements per quarter, but provided we have slots available, we'd be happy to take a call and see if there's a way we can help you accomplish your growth objectives. So this is Marco Palmero. I'll see you in the next one.